Two decades after they were removed by the US military, the Taliban marched into Kabul on August 15, 2021, and have again seized power in Afghanistan. This comes 2 weeks before the USA was set to complete its troop withdrawal.
Our mission in Afghanistan was never supposed to have been nation building. It was never supposed to be creating a unified, centralized democracy.
The insurgents stormed across the country, capturing all major cities as the Afghanistan security forces, trained and equipped by the US and its allies, disappeared. The Taliban, a militant group that ran the country in the late 1990s, have again taken control. Afghans were filmed attempting to escape the insurgents from airports and on the highways out of the country. Some Afghan residents have said that they are worried that the country could descend into chaos, or the Taliban could carry out revenge attacks against those who worked with the Americans or with the government. Many also fear that the Taliban will reimpose the harsh interpretation of Islamic law that they relied on when they ran Afghanistan from 1996 to 2001. Back then, the Taliban banned music, cut off the hands of thieves, and stoned adulterers.
I can't believe the world abandoned Afghanistan. Our friends are going to get killed. They're going to kill us. Our women are not going to have any more rights.
This is not known, but the assumptions are that it's because of the US troops' withdrawal from the country, which opened a clear path for the Taliban to take on and defeat the Afghan security forces. The US has been trying to get out of Afghanistan, its longest war, for several years. President Joe Biden announced that the last troops would leave by the end of August. As the final deadline drew close, the Taliban began overrunning city after city.
The developments of the past week reinforced that ending U.S. military involvement in Afghanistan now was the right decision. American troops cannot and should not be fighting in a war and dying in a war that Afghan forces are not willing to fight for themselves.
The Taliban say they want to form an inclusive Islamic government with other factions. They are holding negotiations with senior politicians, including leaders in the former government. They have pledged to provide a secure environment for the return of normal life after decades of war. But many Afghans don't trust the Taliban and fear that their rule will be violent and oppressive. The country is now facing the Taliban's return to power, which, if anything is like the 1990s, would mean a deterioration in civil liberties, particularly for women and girls. The militant group has occupied the presidential palace and plans to soon declare a new Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan.
We were there when no other newspaper dared print on a Sunday, when the war to end all wars was declared, when one of our own reached for the stars, and when small acts of defiance opened the world's eyes. We were there when a heart got a second chance at beating, when a great rivalry ignited, and when a country rose out of the depths of division to unite. Because for 115 years, we've been bringing you the right now. Sunday Times, the paper for the people.